episode 27, talking about Litepay and Litecoin.
Interested in Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is a very vague concept to a lot of people.
Need to know more about cryptocurrency?
We're going to talk about the basics. This is something that people just have no idea about what crypto is.
How about buying, selling, and mining?
Tony, I think that's one of the things that's going to make us a little different from some other shows.
We're getting our hands dirty.
Then listen to Gary Leland and Tony Sakala, better known as the Crypto Cousins, on the Crypto Cousins podcast. This week's price.
Price of Bitcoin, $10,782. That's down $628 in the last week, which is 5.6%. Hey, Gary Leland here.
And this is Tony Sakala.
Tony, how you doing today, Daddy-O?
Oh, fantastic. I'm feeling really good. I think we're pretty happy that Bitcoin's on the move again.
Yeah, it's it's funny. It's down since last week, but it's up big in the last 2 days. So I guess that says something about how much it must have gone down this week.
No kidding.
Yeah, because like I said, it's definitely feeling better today than I did a couple of days ago. So we went to another conference this weekend up in Addison, Texas. What was the name of that conference? Do you remember?
I don't remember the formal name.
I don't either, and it's past now. Maybe it was like the blockchain conference. So we're not hurting them because it's past, and so we weren't hurting their advertising by not remembering their name. But it was like a 3-day conference?
It was. It was training. There was training on the first day, on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday was training and regular presentations.
There are a lot of conferences going on, Tony. That's all I know. I mean, we're hitting one every weekend. And I just see there's another one I got an Eventbrite invitation to on March the 1st, the Thursday. There's another one that evening from 6 to 9 here in Dallas. So that makes like 3 weekends in a row. There's a conference. And I don't know if every city's like this or if Dallas-Fort Worth is becoming the Mecca. But that's not counting meetups.
I think it is. I think that's not even counting the meetups, of which we have 3.
We have 3. And we're starting a new one. I guess the site probably won't even be ready for this yet, but it might be by the time you hear this. This is according to when you hear this, I guess. But I'm making a new one called arlingtoncrypto.com. And if you're in Dallas-Fort Worth, they can come to arlingtoncrypto.com the third Thursday of every month at 8 o'clock and join me for a cup of coffee. From 8 to 9, and we'll talk coffee, and it's Crypto Coffee with Gary is what that's going to be called. So every Thursday, third Thursday, 8 o'clock in Arlington, Texas. Part of Crypto Arlington is Crypto Coffee with Gary. So I'm converting my morning coffee with Gary, Tony, to Crypto Coffee with Gary.
I think that's wise. The iced tea company in Long Island, they added like blockchain to their name, and everything got better for them.
I was taking a sip of my coffee when you said that, and I almost spit it out. That was crazy. Company is Long Island Tea Company.
Yeah.
And they changed their name to Long Island Blockchain Tea or something. And their stock, would it go up like 4 times?
It was 500% or something.
Yeah. That's crazy. Now I think it's got back down. And they said they were going to start mining, I think, too.
Well, you boil some tea, you make some steam, you create some electricity, you do some mining. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's that punk steam mining. Steampunk mining,
yeah,
that's it.
Steampunk mining, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, I do want to thank all the people who help us out. We have Patreons at our Patreon page, cryptocousins.com/Patreons. Once in a while, people donate at cryptocousins.com/donate if you ever want to help us. A good way to help us, though, is if you need to set up an account with an exchange. I personally like Binance. So you may want to go to cryptocousins.com/Binance, BINANCE. If you use that link, that's our affiliate link, and they give us a little dust every time you make a purchase. It's not very much, but if all of our listeners used it when they signed up, we'd probably be getting some decent money.
I'm all about dust and Satoshis.
Dust and Satoshi. Speaking of Satoshis, I'm still looking for Joe. I want Joe. I want to get our show sponsored. I am serious about this. I want to get our show sponsored for a year by someone. And a company can do it, but I prefer it with some guy who's got a ton of Bitcoin that got him for $1. And you could, for one Bitcoin, sponsor one episode a week for a year. And I just think that, I still think I say it every week, but it's so cool.
Well,
we could say, hey, this episode's sponsored by Joe. And Joe's saying is, I like Bitcoin or something.
Well, the guy who bought the pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin, he's back at it. I think he bought a pizza with Lightning Network now.
I saw that. Matter of fact, I copied the image so we could call him to try to get him on the show.
I think that would be fun.
That would be a fun episode, I think. So
yeah.
Actually, I made a screenshot of the image so I would remember to call him and try to get him on the show. So, but maybe if we get him on the show, he'll give us one Bitcoin to sponsor one episode. Or they could give us 2 Bitcoin and sponsor both episodes every week.
Well, you say that it's funny, but we did speak with a number of people at the conference this weekend, which was interesting. We met some great folks. The guys from Crypto HW Wallet were there, and we met some other people who we know locally. But we had a couple of folks who were very interested in doing 1 or 2 show sponsorship because they're doing ongoing work in the ICO space.
And I even had one of the cousins email me and say, hey, he'd like to know if he could do a week. But I think I want to get one. And then I was thinking about maybe do a month. But I want to get one sponsor for the year. I'm sticking with my one sponsor for the year.
Sticking with your goal, exactly.
I'm not giving up that quick.
Yeah, no, okay. Because I did see that email because somebody's doing something, an event that's coming up. And so, there's lots of events that are coming up. And folks who want to do events and want us to promote them, definitely get in touch with us because we love events. We love traveling. We love going to things. We love interviewing people at the events. I thought our interviews were really spot on at the Bitcoin Ethereum Blockchain Super Conference.
I did too. And we also got invited to trying to find the message now, but Draper,
Tim Draper invited you somewhere.
Yeah, he's having a conference, but it's a smaller conference with more of a training conference. Mm-hmm. And they invited us to the conference and said they'd give us a free booth to set up at. It's in California, and I told him I said I appreciate the booth, but we really don't have anything to sell, and it'd be more promoting your conference, and we really just can't afford to fly out to California, pay for the flight, pay for the hotel rooms, take off work a couple of days just to promote your conference on our videos.
Well, yeah, exactly, because that's what it would be. Yeah.
Now, if we had something we were selling at our table, we were going to make $4,000 or $5,000 while we were there, that would be a different story. We'd go, hey, we can cover this conference, they get promotion, and we're going to make our money back by selling all this stuff, but we don't have anything to sell. We don't have an ICO or anything like that to sell. So that's what I was hoping that sooner or later the sponsorships would go for, is that we could afford to go to stuff like this. So, but we just aren't at that point yet, where we can afford to do that. But I thought it was nice to get the invitation from that company, because I thought that was a pretty big name place to invite us to their conference.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think people see that we're doing some good work. That we were like the only media at the Bitcoin Ethereum Blockchain Super Conference.
Yeah, and we did a lot of videos, which will be coming out soon. I have most of them edited. I have 5. I didn't tell you. The guy, I'm not going to say who it was, but as soon as I tell you who it is off the air, you'll say that figures. Mm. We were interviewing him, and for some reason, he decided when he got through interviewing to turn off the mic.
Ooh.
So the next 5 interviews, we had 2 mics. The mic for the person I was interviewing doesn't work.
Ooh.
And so we're having to edit those to try to increase their volume when they talk, to pick it up off of my microphone, because he was so courteous and he thought that he needed to turn the mic off, because that's just what you do, is you take charge and turn mics off when people hand them to you.
Well, we're going to fix that.
Yeah. Next time we're going to put tape over and stuff. Well, I just didn't assume anyone would turn off microphones. I mean,
well, we might have to bring Cousin Vinny out to break some thumbs.
break some bones. So
Don't touch that. Don't touch that button.
I'm kind of depressed about that. Hey, did you see the post of Charlie Lee's on Twitter?
I had to do a double take. I was like, what is that? What is he talking about? So he's talking about not the flippening, which is what Ethereum be overtaking Bitcoin. He's created a new term, the flappening.
What's his deal with chickens?
I saw that. I'm not.
The flapping, I think, is like the chickens flapping their wings. His icon on
that's
Twitter,
on the chart.
Which is Satoshi Light is his name. At Satoshi Light is a chicken head, and then on the post even on Twitter it has a chicken's head.
It's the chicken.
So he's into chickens somehow. That's his moniker now, as a chicken head.
Oh, it could be worse. Could be pork.
It could be. The flippening, he says, the flippening.
Flapping.
No, it starts out the post says the flippening.
Sorry. Flipping.
The ETH versus over Bitcoin will
flipping.
never happen. But the flattening, Litecoin over Bcash will happen this year. And then I'll include this link in the show notes. But if you go to flappening.watch, all that's there is how is the metrics of Litecoin versus Bcash. So that's pretty cool. So it's tracking the flappening, and it's got a chicken head on it.
You can't beat it. You have to check it out. The chicken head's really cute.
Hey, did you see those? This isn't on our own notes, but did you see when they did the Senate or the government talks? I don't know if it was on C-SPAN. I don't know the Senate or if it was the House. I don't know who it was. They were, it was all these politicians talking about
somebody.
Crypto. And in the background was some guy that looked like Satoshi, looked like Lee's icon. Did you see that?
No.
He had on a hat, kind of a pointy hat, like Charlie's icon hat, and these big giant glasses. And he's over to the side, and Charlie Lee even pointed out and did a post. This guy looks like my icon. And it did. It looked like some guy dressed up like Charlie Lee's icon to get in the background of the Senate hearings. I thought it was pretty cool.
I think that's a really good idea. I think we should all dress up now and then and go down to Washington and be our favorite comic book character or something like that.
It couldn't hurt. But go to flappening.watch and keep up with that. And then the other thing I found, one of the other things I found was Poloniex. Is that how you pronounce it?
Poloniex. That was my big story for the day, and I went to the script, and I saw you already had it in there.
You're going to have to get up pretty early in the morning to get it this old dad. But yeah, Monday, Circle bought out Poloniex. And Circle is, they bought him out for $400 million. Circle operates an app-based peer-to-peer payment network using blockchain. So, but the thing is, Goldman, and the thing I saw the post that people were talking about is Goldman, our Circle is a Goldman-backed startup. And that's like, Goldman Sachs is backing them up.
Goldman Sachs, yeah, that's, they're definitely one of the bigger players on Wall Street, and maybe not some of the most favorite of people.
Well, and Jamie Dimon now, he's from Goldman, right?
Jamie's with, he's with J.P. Morgan Chase.
Okay, I'm getting them confused then. There's so many people to keep up.
The black cats.
Yeah, black cats. But people are going, oh my gosh, now that something to do with Goldman Sachs is into crypto, everything is going to go through. And I even saw last night posts saying that's why Bitcoin has gone up so much in the last 2 days, is because now it's official. Wall Street is involved in crypto.
There you go.
I really don't think much of that thought.
No. People are they see something and they try to add like some data there. They try to make it real. They try to attribute, and good luck with that. What I'm interested in really is the understanding between mining, investment, and Bitcoin price. We've talked with John McAfee regularly, and whenever we talk, he comes back to the fact that if you're investing $5,000 to create one Bitcoin, then the value of Bitcoin is in the energy energy that's used to create it. So when you get back to that, if Jihan Wu is spending hundreds of millions of dollars to create new mining equipment, then he's doing it for a reason, because the value of Bitcoin is going to continue to increase. That's what everyone sees.
Yes, and or they wouldn't be spending the money. They're pretty smart dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, smarter than me, obviously, because I don't have $1 billion. And I think you have to be pretty smart to get $1 billion, no matter how you get it. I would.
And McAfee has a lot of good things to say about Jihan Wu. He says he's one of the brightest guys on the planet.
Yeah, he does say good things about him. So I also saw this. Oh, and the links to that will also be in the show notes. So, and I've been saying that. So just in case you haven't been to the site, go to CryptoCousins.com, go to the podcast header, and you'll see all the episodes. And then you can find this episode and see these show notes if you want to find them. Were you familiar with, my next one is Craig Wright, Satoshi Nakamoto. Were you familiar with Craig Wright before?
Craig Wright, yes.
I was not. So this was new information to me. But, I've only been in crypto since September, so I get a lot of new information. So Craig Wright, he's an Australian man who claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto, the inventor of Bitcoin. He's being sued by Dave Kleiman's relatives, and Dave passed away in 2013. And the story is that Craig Wright and Kleiman together were involved in the creation of Bitcoin, a large number of Bitcoins, like $1,100,000 worth of Bitcoin, because if they're Satoshi Nakamoto, they're going to have over 1 million Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. Not counting the forks.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, it looked like they're showing some documents. Looks like things were forged. It looks like it's a very fascinating.
But he's been saying this for a while, obviously. And so he's been saying for a while that he was Satoshi Nakamoto. Mm-hmm. So these relatives of his partner are suing him, saying, okay, if you're Satoshi Nakamoto, where's our $1 million or our half of the 1 million Bitcoins? That's what
it looks like they, according to the article, that they were doing some things together, and Craig Wright got his relatives to give over the private keys.
Right.
That's
what they're saying. This is when it happened, when he died. He said, hey, you need to give me those private keys. So they said, oh, okay.
They didn't realize.
Which would be pretty a scummy thing to do. If you had if you had 500,000 Bitcoin, would you really need to steal 500,000 from your dead partner? Talk about bad karma.
It's a really bad karma there.
Whoa. But the article for that will be there too. But that's the name we may hear. Evidently, he's been saying this for a while, that he was Satoshi Nakamoto. So we may hear that again, and at least you'll know who Craig Wright is. But most people think it's a bunch of BS.
I mean, he's pretty much like an internet meme at this point. Not Satoshi.
I would think you would just be able to say, okay, if I'm Satoshi Nakamoto, I have the first 1 million Bitcoin. Here's the address for Bitcoin number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be the easy way to prove that? The block. I mean, you could give the block numbers out or something, and people could look at the blocks.
Well, there's also ways cryptographically that Satoshi had signed some things with a PGP signature, and if you have that signature, you can sign things as well and show that you own those particular coins. There's different ways to do it, but I don't know. The guy's a little crazy. I mean, the whole point of being Satoshi Nakamoto is that you're not around, because if you are, then you're the most wanted man on the planet.
Yeah. Why would you be going, I am him?
I don't know. I don't know. No, it's not.
But it is provable. If you were him, you could actually prove it. There wouldn't be people going, oh, he's not, he is, he's not. You could say, hey, I can prove it. Here it is. Hands down. Everybody would go, oh, yeah, he just proved it. Mm-hmm. Okay, exactly. We got some messages. Let's go to our first phone message here. If you want to call us with a phone message, call 747-777-9471. That's 747-777-9471. Hard to say all those sevens. But this is from Cousin Kelly.
Cousin Gary, Cousin Tony, Cousin Kelly from Indiana here. Another thought experiment for you. Let's say you're given $10,000 to build the most profitable, say the most versatile mining rig you can. Given today's shortages of GPUs and the higher prices of ASICs miners, what do you feel is going to be the best option? What's going to last longest, be most profitable, and of course everything still has resale value later? Give me your opinions. I love what you guys are doing. I'm learning so much by listening to your interviews. And by the way, don't worry about the length of your shows. I love it when you guys talk. I learn so much. Thanks again. Good luck.
Okay, this is Cousin Kelly has given us a question before, I believe. What do you think of this experiment of his?
I like it. It's a great thought experiment. So what would you do with $10,000 to build the most profitable, most versatile mining rig? Well, I think that given the market today, we were talking about this the other day, Gary, that I would build out the infrastructure for a mining center. Starting with a small place. Make sure that all the electricity was set up properly. Make sure that you're ready to handle the load of all the new GPU cards that are coming out in April. And I would wait, actually, to buy cards that are going to be announced by NVIDIA in a couple of months. Because investing today in overpriced GPUs is not really forward thinking.
So, yeah, we were talking about this just the other day about building out everything, how we would build it out, and then putting the new cards in when they came in, because it's so close to coming out. If you were going to buy $10,000 worth of cards, the new ones, to invest that kind of money in the current cards when the new ones are so close to coming out.
Yeah, I mean, 10,000 is really, it seems like a lot of money, but boy, that'll get you at today's prices, it'll get you 1080s. Not even 1080 Ti.
You're right. It's not very much.
Yeah, no, it's not very much. So 10,000 is 1080s. That's about enough raw material to make 5 Ethan mining rigs, not counting all the other parts.
Yeah, so you aren't going to be. So we're not talking about too much electrical build out if you only have 10,000 to build. I mean, if you, yeah, I guess the question on what you're saying there is, how much do I have coming later? If he's saying all he has is $10,000 for the year, well, it wouldn't do much good to build out the electrical.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would build out. You would start. You would take about half or a quarter and build out the infrastructure, and then use the rest to buy, and you'll be all set when the new cards come out. That's my viewpoint. If he asked for the most versatile, someone could say, well, you know what, just go online and buy a couple of ASIC miners. You can get 2 or 3 or 4 for $10,000, and they can start making money today. But those ASIC miners are not going to be very versatile, and a couple months from now, they may not be profitable at all.
Well, that could, when I know that I saw, maybe, was it Samsung or someone else is coming out with ASIC miners?
Yeah, that's right. Was it Samsung or Sanyo? I think it was Samsung.
Yeah, so I'm wondering when that's going to happen. That could change the whole game on ASIC miners. And Jovan Wu won't have like a monopoly anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because I was telling you, I bet Jovan Wu on those ASIC miners is like Apple is on our iPhones. I bet you that he could come out with a much better miner, but he comes out with them in stages so he can sell more of them instead of just making the best one he can.
You have to ask yourself, what would you do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can sell two models a year versus one model,
mm-hmm.
And maybe when they have competition from Samsung or whoever it is coming out with theirs, that'll make a big difference. We also have an email message this week from I Honor King Jesus. And he asks, is it possible to have a wallet and an ordinary USB stick? And I took this from our YouTube page because I've been trying to get questions from everywhere because people leave them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And our YouTube page is cryptocousins.com/YouTube. But the basic question is it possible to have a wallet and an ordinary USB stick? And you can. I looked it up. I've included a link in the show notes on how to do it. But basically, the guy showing how to do it just basically downloaded a wallet software onto the USB stick is what he did. I mean, the short of it. And then opened it up and just installed it in there. And he uses that USB, of course, just for the wallet. But, yeah, the answer is yes. It was a little more technical than that, which I'm not going to go all into.
Well, I think also there's a second answer, and it's cheating a little bit, but it's not an ordinary USB stick, but it's actually a USB stick that actually has a hardware wallet right on it. And that's the Open Dime, which is a great product.
Oh, yeah, and it's not very expensive either. I mean, it's not that much. Actually, it's about the price of a USB stick.
Right, exactly. And you're getting a hardware wallet on it, one of the most secure wallets that there is. The private key is stored on the Open Dime. You don't even know what it is. No one else knows what it is until you poke a little hole in it and one of the resistors comes out, and then the private key is displayed. So you can use it as a credit stick. You can hand it to somebody and say, here you go. This has got 1,000th of a Bitcoin or 100th of a Bitcoin, or here's a Bitcoin. I want to buy a yacht. I'll hand you this. And they can see that that stick corresponds to a value on the blockchain, and you can see that there's a Bitcoin on it.
Yeah, but that would only work with Bitcoin. I mean, that's all that you can do with that wallet, Tony. So, I mean, that's good if the guy's just wanting a wallet for Bitcoin, but if he's wanting to use a USB wallet for Litecoin or Ethereum
or all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You would want to mess with those altcoins. I don't.
You say that, but I know you do. So, yes, the answer is yes. You're basically installing your software for your wallet on the USB stick, and just go to the show notes, and I've got the link there. It's a long link, so I'm not going to read it all. But or just search on Google. It took me like 1 second to find it. It's not very difficult to find. But let's get into today's subject and talk about Litepay for Litecoin. This was supposed to come out yesterday.
Mm-hmm. So what happened?
The 26th. That's why we picked this subject. We thought it'd be out today. We were going to be all excited. And not quite as excited as we hoped. A lot of confusion on my end on this, but let's go over what Litepay is first, because I figure it's going to come out sooner or later. But Litepay was supposed to come out yesterday on the 26th in 41 countries. And you can go to litepay.us to sign up if you want to use Litepay, or if you want to be a store and accept Litepay, you can sign up there. And basically, it converts. It's like, originally it was supposed to work with Visa. They were partnering with Visa because you'd see the Visa logos on there. And when you went to a store, any store that took debit cards or credit cards, didn't matter where it was, you could go in. If they had a credit card machine, use that existing machine, and it would not only let you spend your Litecoin, which there have been ones that have done this before, so that's not a big deal. But it would automatically, at the time of sale, convert your Litecoin to U.S. fiat money, in our case, U.S. dollars. So if you walked into my store, Tony, and you used your card and bought a softball bat from me, I wouldn't receive crypto, which might go up or down, so I might be scared to receive the crypto. I would receive the conversion rate automatically, immediately, so I wouldn't have a chance of losing money, but I also wouldn't have a chance of gaining money, if it goes up or down.
So it's kind of like a card with a converter in it, kind of like a shapeshift, and it's going to convert it to what you want, which is fiat.
Well, it's kind of like going to Europe with your U.S. credit card, is how I look at it. Because
that's a good example.
When I go to London and I buy something with my United States credit card, that guy in London doesn't get U.S. dollars and go, what am I going to do? I got 500 pounds today and $4 US. What am I going to do with those $4 US? I got to find a place to convert them. It automatically converts it into pounds for him.
I see.
So that's what it was supposed to do. And that really is the biggest obstacle, I think, for stores taking crypto is they don't know what crypto is. They don't want to convert it. They don't want to take the chance on gambling. They're not investors. They need that. They sold that bat for $400. they need to make 400 because maybe they paid 300 for it and they can't have their crypto to go down 20% by the time they cash it in. So I think this was a big, big thing for crypto, but it didn't work. It didn't come out yesterday. Yesterday, everybody received an email, and this is what I thought was weird, Tony. Here's the email that was sent to the people who had signed up to get cards. Due to hostile actions by card issuers toward crypto companies, we have decided that offering Litepay Card registrations at this time is imprudent.
Well, there you go. You're trying to bridge a gap between a new disruptive technology like cryptocurrencies and the old guard, which is struggling to stay alive. So what do? This is the strategy that you do. You strangle the baby with its umbilical cord.
Well, I think you're being pretty graphic there.
I'm sorry, that's what you do.
Well, credit card companies realize they're in trouble, I think.
Yes.
And they're going, wait a second, why are we supporting this? Because earlier, when this came out, when the website came out, which I even have a whole bunch to say about that, but when the website came out for Litepay, it had Visa logos on it. But then the Visa logos started being replaced with BitPay logos, I believe it was. So slowly but surely, and this is the thing that really confuses me. And I'm kind of like, I'm on the neg, and I'm kind of like, with BitGo logos that was being replaced
BitGo,
with. Yeah, not BitPay, BitGo. Yeah. But this is really what's kind of getting me. I saw just last week Kenneth Azar, the CEO for Litepay, Kenneth Azar say everything was on track, everything was good, U.S. is part of the rollout, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, for a while here, and he has been aware of this, crypto purchases on a lot of credit cards were being changed to cash advances. And cash advances have a much higher cost to the consumer than their credit card. So this has been happening, and this is nothing that someone in his position shouldn't have been aware of.
Yeah, I mean, look, I hear it. I see it. You know, we've seen that in the news for a while. I mean, the baby's gurgling, the umbilical cord is being squeezed around its neck. It's a horrible thing. But
it's sounding horrible.
But the baby is, as we know, it's going to bounce back.
Well, I think that the fact credit card companies, if they are taking hostile actions, I think that's a really good sign for crypto. I think it's a positive sign. The credit card companies realize they're in trouble, and that's a super positive sign. Now, the emails that people, from what I understand, I didn't get the email because I didn't sign up to get a card. I signed up to be a store that accepted
I see.
Litepay. And from what I understand, people the email said if you want to, if you're a store, that would go live at 9 o'clock Pacific time yesterday, 9 p.m. Pacific time yesterday. And I really want to take it because there's a lot of good things about this. Number one, there's no chargebacks. Do you know how many times someone steals someone's credit card? I send out my BAT or whatever, $500 for the product. And then 3 weeks later, a month and a half later, I get this call or this message going, oh, Joe says he never made that purchase and his credit card was stolen. And so we're taking that $500 back.
Wow.
Oh, it happens all the time. We don't ship softball bats to Florida anymore. And if we ship multiple bats, if someone orders 2, we have a whole process we go through on this stuff. If they're in Florida, California, or they buy 2 or more bats, we have to go through this whole rigmarole process. Like yesterday, I refunded a bat. Someone bought a bat. We had to refund it. It was in Florida. We looked at it, got on Google search. So that's really the cool thing about it is I don't have chargebacks anymore. You know, and the other cool thing is my charge was going to be 1%. Where now a credit card charge is about 3.5% of every sale. So I was really looking forward to it. So I signed up for the store feature for the credit card to take credit cards. So 9 o'clock last night, 9 p.m., which is 11 o'clock my time central, I go to the site. That I can't do that either. I can't log in for to take the credit cards.
So it was, what did they say? Belligerent action?
It
By
said
the credit card companies?
hostile actions.
Hostile.
I don't know why this is telling me, though, this whole thing is kind of screwed to me, though. Okay, let's say we go with that. Why couldn't they go ahead and set up accounts for me? Why does their website still today not say anything about it on there? Well, I mean, is it that hard? It looks like a WordPress website to me. Do they need to give me their admin? I'll go in there and say, hey, I'll write a note on the front page for them. Certainly, if they're capable of making blockchain and setting us all up, they have some guy there who can go on the website and write, hey, we're backed up 2 days or whatever. Or I looked at Charlie Lee's site today. There's no post about it yet. So I'm really, really confused about this. And the fact that they should have known about Visa, credit card companies weren't happy with this. They couldn't have expected a long-term relationship there. They're going to roll out with something that was going to 3 months from now, Visa, God, we're not doing it anymore. We're crazy to do this. This is killing us. So this whole thing's screwy to me. And I like Litecoin, and I have a good, a decent part of my portfolio is Litecoin. So I'm really kind of upset, but I think this is all screwed.
Yes, it definitely looks like something went sideways. The Bitcoin, Litecoin thing it's a new technology that hasn't been accepted by merchants en masse yet because, look, for obvious reasons, Bitcoin value just changes dramatically. I spent a lot of money buying some hardware, and when I did the checkout, the company said Bitcoin's worth this much. Well, a few days later, the price had changed dramatically. I hadn't gotten my product yet, and I'm thinking, I wish I had bought it today. So you start to, in your head, you start thinking, what am I doing? And so that was the last I've ever spent any Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, I can understand that, but and I also had heard that you might be able to set in your settings whether you want to keep it or not if you're a store. See, I'm looking at it from the store aspect, not the spending aspect. I'm looking at it from a different angle. I'm looking at
what did Overstock do? They did about half? They kept half their crypto when they took crypto?
And they cashed in half their crypto.
Yeah, that seems like you're hedging your bets there. That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking of, doing something like that or keeping 35%. I don't know how the settings are going to go. So this morning, before the show started, I went again to this crummy website with no communication. I mean, if this is an example of how they communicate with their customers, oh my gosh, Katie barred the door when it really starts. So I went to the website again, and guess what? It says I can log in this time. I clicked the button, and it says, hey, log in. So I put in my email and my password. There was an error logging in. So I tried 3 or 4 times. And I go, maybe I typed in my password wrong the other day. That could happen. Mm-hmm. I don't know how, because usually it asks for it twice, but maybe it didn't ask for it twice. I honestly can't remember. So I had it send me, don't remember your passwords, the email, and I changed the password to what it should be. Went back to log in. Still doesn't work. So now you can go to the login page if you're a merchant. You just can't log in.
Wow.
So, and I'm on the website again, and it still says nothing. Nothing. Nothing has changed to say this doesn't work. Just the login, that also doesn't work. So I'm really not thinking much of this. I think Charlie Lee, this is representing him, needs to get on Twitter or something and let people know what's going on. Somebody needs to.
It's a beautiful website. There's no doubt about it. It's very clean.
Well, I'm at the Litepay's Twitter page now, and it says nothing about it. Yeah, there's nothing about it on here.
But you got an email, and it said...
No, I never got the email.
Oh, you never got the email at all.
Other people got the email. They signed up to get the card. I didn't want the card.
The card. Oh, so as a merchant, they didn't tell you anything.
No, they don't tell you anything as a merchant. Obviously, Ooh. If you sign up to get the Litepay card, they sent you the email telling you about the hostile actions from the credit card companies.
I see.
Now I'm looking online. Here's a credit card with Visa Debit Litepay, which they had pulled away from Visa already. So, and like I said, that gets me too. How could this guy Kenneth Azair not know about credit card companies not liking crypto? I mean, they're changing. They're not letting people use their cards. This whole thing's screwed.
Well, it's just another chapter.
Another chapter and I'm sorry to see this one go because I was looking forward to this. Litecoin had been having a great weekend on anticipation of this. I bet you Litecoin's down, I'm guessing, because of this. I'm just kind of curious now that I'm...
That's not going to help the flappening.
Not going to help the flappening at all. Yeah, Litecoin is down 4.13% in the last 4.12% in the last 24 hours, where most everything else is up.
Oh, now that's not usually.
Yeah. So actually, probably if everything else wasn't up, it would be way down. So probably it's not going further down because of the fact that, it, as we talked the other day, everything follows Bitcoin.
Exactly.
And amazing how everything follows Bitcoin when Bitcoin goes up or Bitcoin goes down. So I think that proves that Bcash is not the main thing.
No, that's for sure. Well, I'm looking at what's going on Reddit, and the Reddit folks are talking about this a little bit. And why is everybody so hyped when there's basically no information? There it is. There's the quote. Due to recent hostile actions by card issuers toward crypto companies, we have decided that offering the Litepay card registrations at this time is imprudent.
Well, why doesn't your website work where you give me a chance to log in as a vendor?
Very interesting. Well, I think that's where we're headed. We've got a hostile environment. People who said that their Coinbase accounts were being double charged when they used a debit card to put money into Coinbase. That was all over the web a couple weeks ago. And don't know where that problem arose, whether it was on the Coinbase side or the bank side. But this is the Wild West. Keep your private keys private. Hang on to your crypto. Make sure you have a hardware wallet. Make sure you have your 20 words. Make sure everything is safe in your home. And, watch out for scams.
Hey, there will be this one thing that Ken...
this weekend we had...
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Well, there was one thing that Ken Azair said that I thought you would really like a lot.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
He's the CEO of Litepay. He said, I saw him on TV, and he said... that Litepay is the start of the journey of going from 300 million people that are able to be banked to everyone with a cell phone, which are 5 billion people, can be banked.
Well, there you go.
So I know you're all in
moving in the right direction. Yeah.
So 300 million right now can be banked, but this is the start of 5 billion people. So in other words, there's 4,700,000,000 people that don't have a bank account.
They're not bankable. The bank doesn't want to bother with them.
Well, I saw where a bank account, maybe it was on the same show. It costs a bank account in regulations, fees, and bookkeeping and whatever, $200 a year to have someone have a bank account with them. I didn't know that.
Well, I guess when you divide up all the money they spend on government regulations and the KYC, AML, all that stuff, people that have to check on things to keep the bad guys out, that's what it costs. It costs a lot of money to keep the bad guys out.
Yeah, so I guess if you're going to keep like $100 a year in there, they probably don't want to mess with you.
it makes sense. It's a financial decision.
I mean, it's a business. They're all about. They don't have those big buildings from. They're kind of like Vegas. They don't have those big buildings from people giving away money. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're making very reasoned decisions to improve the bottom line.
Well, I'm going to include a link to a Reddit page in the show notes for Litepay that I found and litepay.us. So you can check it out and see if it works yet or not, which it probably won't. So I'm real depressed. I'm real let down. I think they could at least update their page. That's confusing me the most. Or update their Twitter page or do something. So I'm giving Litepay at this point a big thumbs down, Tony.
Well, we'll see what happens. Charlie Lee tweeted a couple days ago that the merchant processing doesn't need approval from Visa.
But I can't do it. So you're right. So since it doesn't need approval, how come I can't log into my merchant processing?
Exactly.
So big thumbs down here, Tony. Thumbs up, thumbs down from you. I'm looking for one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm gonna.
You aren't wanting to give one. I know you.
Yeah. I'd say they tried.
They tried. See, Tony's not going to give you a thumbs up. I'm like, I don't mind. I'll cut him to the quick. So, hey, anything else you want to say before we get out of here, Tony? I think we've I feel like I've kind of reamed Charlie Lee and Litepay enough. And I like Litepay. Don't get me wrong. I just think they've screwed the pooch on this completely. I mean, like I said, not even to have an update that I've seen.
You have a right to your feelings, Gary.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
I think we're wrapping up. I think we're over our 30-minute time.
Oh, really? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We're over?
Yeah.
That's just hard to believe.
Yeah.
That is so hard to believe. Hey, I hope everyone enjoyed today's show. Sorry if we ran it a long time. We did go a little over. We're always over, but I think we went a little over. Yeah. But a big thanks to everyone that's been leaving us comments and reviews, whether it's on iTunes or Google Play. But hey, if you're listening to us, whatever device you're listening to us on, stop, take a look at it, scroll down on the screen, and see if there's a place to give us a review or a rating. And do it. Those help us move up to the top. So I'm not asking you to go anyway special. Just go where you're at right now and give us a review. Don't give us a bad review, though. We don't want you to waste your time.
Only good reviews. We'll break your thumbs.
Yeah, that guy. Who's that guy who's going over there? Who's the guy that's going over there? The guy that's going to take care of the guy with the microphone problem?
Vinny,
I'll come see you. And don't forget to check out, if you're not subscribed to the show, go to cryptocousins.com/subscribe, and you'll find every method there to subscribe. Hey, I just heard yesterday there's this new thing. I don't even know what it is. I can't remember the name of it is. It's for the Fords. The new Fords are going to have this new podcasting software built into the radio or whatever, and you can listen to podcasts in the new Fords. And so I was reading this article, and it was like, you need to have your podcast in there so people driving Fords can just say whatever and listen to your podcast. So I went to enter our podcast, and we were already in it. So that was kind of cool.
Wow. Yeah, so that's very cool.
So I don't know what the name of the software was.
It's like an audio thing, and people will be in their car because it's probably hands off. They can just say, hey, play Crypto Cousins podcast, something like that.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, and we were already in it, so that was kind of cool. Hey, and if you get any questions, give us a call at 747-777-9471, or if you want to just make a comment. We like comments, too. But I appreciate everyone listening. Tony, I'll talk to you later, and love you, cousins.
Love you guys. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Crypto Cousins podcast. Please share this podcast with anyone you know that is interested in cryptocurrency. Your friends can subscribe on iTunes at cryptocousins.com/iTunes and on Android at cryptocousins.com/play. If you want to know more about Tony or Gary, just go to tonysakala.com or garyleland.com. Make sure and join us on the next episode, and thanks for listening. The Crypto Cousins podcast and information in the podcast are not intended as investment advice. Cryptocurrencies are risky. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Always seek professional advice before making any investment. Investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies may present tremendous risks. Please understand that you are using any and all information available on or through the Crypto Cousins podcast at your own risk.